really raising the vibration of my own consciousness. And so I went about these spiritual practices to do so. And interestingly enough, just about the end of that year, that's when you and I met.
Yeah, that is. It shows the power of an intention, but also an intention that you really followed through on. Yeah. And that you really had come to a place where it sounds like you knew what you wanted, what was really important. As had I at that point in my life, I kind of had not a really clearly defined list of traits I was looking for, but I also really knew that I wanted to be with somebody who really had deep spirituality as really the core of their life, and that was really going to be part of what I wanted to share together. I think it's no mistake that when we both came to that in our lives, some 23 or 24 years ago, whenever that was that you came to that and I did, that ended up manifesting at some point. And here we have been married for 18 years. And I remember the very first time I met you, and I knocked on the door and you opened the door, and I had a feeling that you were someone I was going to know for the rest of my life. That's the first thing I knew. As soon as you opened the door, I was really lucky, and looking back, I'm really happy that my mind didn't make anything more out of it. I didn't know if that meant we would have any particular kind of relationship or anything, but it was almost like my spirit or my soul knew that this is a relationship of significance, like pay attention. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, what it was going to look like, but I knew it was a relationship of significance, that I was meeting someone of significance. And at the end of that afternoon, evening that we spent a little time together, the other thought that I had to bookend the first thought at the end of the night, the thought that I had was, wow, this is somebody who doesn't need me at all in order to probably have a good, enriching, fulfilling life. And I could just feel that intuitively. And again, that was, at that time of my life, as it is now, that was really very appealing to me. To meet somebody that wasn't going to use a relationship to fill in some sort of personal void inside of themselves. Certainly doesn't mean you didn't want a relationship, but you weren't looking for it to fill something in that way. So I think often that part of being in spiritual relationship begins with a kind of intention of really feeling what we really, really, really want. And in this case, I may not have said it at the time, but I really did want to discover the one of us. That one, the one. I was already a spiritual seeker at that time and pursuing, what is that one? What is the one that I am, that you are, that life is? And I wanted to know what that was. And I think that in many ways that drew us together. And then much later, here we are sort of living out for quite a few years now that paradox of having discovered the one, discovered that I am the one, you are the one, we are the one, everyone is the one, that discovering that, realizing that, awakening to that, and then having that amazing journey of what that means in relationship, and also what it means to discover the one in us, that you didn't lose your autonomy or your individuality through awakening to reality. I didn't lose my own autonomy. I didn't lose my own individuality through awakening to the unity of all things. That wonderful paradox, that relationship really heightens of the one in relationship with itself, but also two very unique individuals. And that wonderful paradox of the one and the uniqueness, of the individual and the ultimate sameness. And I think this is part of what this whole program is about, is realizing that, and then how does that actually translate into this wonderful and challenging dimension of human experience, which is the dimension of relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had this image of this sense of the one manifesting as different flavors of expression, while also presenting as this banquet of the many. And the interest is...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.